Mal addresses Ice for riding with Joe Budden.
Ice said some shit that rubbed me the wrong way, like earlier this year on the episode, and I wanted to reach out to him and ask him what he meant by that, but I just left it alone.
What did he say?
I don't even feel like again, man. It's nothing. It's nothing that serious, which is why I never reached out. But I just those guys over there know me pretty well. Like me and Imani went to high school together. I've known the rest of those guys at least 10, 11 years. Um, and I don't think that they have anything negative to say about me. I don't have anything negative to say about them. I just wish that when certain conversations was happening, um, and certain things was being said, that they would just be a little more vocal about my character a little bit. And if not, that's cool too. But it's just like, damn, like you know me, homie. You know that ain't me. But again, I understand that where you're at right now, you got to do what you got to do for whatever reasons. And again, it's all love and respect. I'm not upset at nobody. I don't. I just don't walk in those rooms and those spaces anymore because I understand that the dynamics have changed and people have chosen which side of the fence that they on, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool, do your thing. But I was just designed a different way, man. And I was just certain things were just instilled in me that I just can't move on. I gotta stand on that square forever.
Yeah, that's right. On a recent Twitter space that I hosted, Mal talked about how Ice made comments that he didn't particularly care for. Now, in this video, we're gonna try to see what Ice might have said that rubbed Mal the wrong way. And I think this is a fascinating commentary on this whole situation, as after the Rory and Mal breakup with Joe Budden, a lot of friends had to pick sides. And most people chose Joe because they seemed to be closer to Joe anyway. But the people that chose Joe eventually ended up on Joe Budden's podcast. That's Ice, that's Ish, and now Imani has even entered the mix. But overall, this is an interesting reflection on where this all went, because Maul seems to think that people on that side should be speaking up for his character, and it ultimately puts people in a tough spot, right? Because Joe Budden has his podcast, and it's the biggest podcast. He is the one that is going to be paying people money, so they would have to choose his side. And it could also be that they totally believe Joe more than they do Maul. But there's also another caveat here, one that I think many people aren't exploring. Maybe the people who do sit on the couch with Joe Budden actually think Joe Budden is the wrong one in this whole thing. For example, I can't help but think of Ish. Remember when the whole Rory Mal and Joe back and forth was going down, and Ish simply asked Joe to show the accounting, and Joe responded by saying, "I'm hurt. I can't do that. They crossed the line." Ish just seems skeptical of how Joe Budden has handled this whole situation. And I think from his perspective, he might be thinking, hey buddy, if you truly didn't steal, how come you're not going out your way to clear your name? Maybe Ish is team Rory and Mal? As for Ice, I don't know. Ice is a little bit loose with his morals, and I think he will choose up with whoever's paying him. And hey, Joe's paying him as well, and he's paying him while he's an awful podcaster. So I can see why he is choosing the Podfather. But let me know what you think in the comments. What is going on? Do you feel Mal is justified for feeling some type of way? Also, what did I say? Someone on my Discord project brought up a good point and said that it may have been the comments that Ice made saying that as long as no one steals from me, I'm good. I could see Maul having an issue with that, and that being a little bit weird. Like, okay, you're cool with people stealing from me, but if they don't steal from you, you riding with them? I don't know. It honestly seems like Ice just got a taste of that podcast money, and now is just trying to engage in self-serving logic to help him circumvent the actual issue. Because Ish didn't say that. Ish said, show the accounting, Joe. If you're telling the truth, show the accounting. But we will never see the accounting, most likely. And that's where this issue remains. As for where this goes moving forward, I think everybody's just going to have to stand on separate sides of the club. Nonetheless, everybody landed, as Ice would say. But I'm curious to see how Ice and Joe Budden will end one day, because I truly believe Ice is not good at podcasting, and I think at some point Joe Budden will have to address that in 2024. I think they're moving around him with kid gloves. They're allowing him to circumvent actual critiques of him as a podcaster, and I think it's going to blow up, but that's just me. All right, y'all. Remember, please let me know what you think in the comments and do the science on this. What do you think about Mal's comments about Ice? What comments do you think Ice made that made Mal upset? I really want to get to the bottom of that, as I feel it's an interesting conversation, and we truly don't know which Ice comments did it. If you find out, I will make a video about it and I will credit you. Alright, I wanted to address another subject going on, and that is the rising tensions, the online tensions, so it's not like real beef, between all of the communities in the Joe Budden universe. The Reddit communities, the Twitter spaces, the Discords, because there's several communities that I think need to be highlighted, right? There's the Joe Budden Reddit, which there's this big one that's huge. Then there's another one that's secondary to it that's also connected to that one. And then there's mine, which is about to hit 10,000, significantly smaller, but gets engagement almost on the level of those two as far as upvotes for some of the most significant posts. Then there's the JBTV Twitter space community, which seems to be rising in the rankings as far as influence because Joe Budden spends most of his time there. And then there's the Discords. There's the Discords attached to the Reddit where a lot of the members of the show speak. And I have this idea I want to interrogate is I think they're all fighting for attention from the cast. So there's going to be issues that sprout up as a result of members of the show having to pick where they spend their time. And I can see the tension because I remember listening to a space that Joe was having, and one of the members of that space really did some hater stuff and was mad that Joe Budden was spending time on my space. Let me play that clip for you so you can see the hater Olympics that's going on.
Why do you give Danny so much energy? I'm just curious.
Yes, please answer that. Please answer that.
Like, you get a lot of actual attention. You sat in his space the other night a little long. You talked with him. You parlayed with him a little bit.
Babe,
No. We love you over here. I'm just curious.
when you say a little long.
Listen, you're a high value man. I don't think you should be over there. I mean,
No, I'm not.
And the reason I play that clip is because this is evidence of what all of these communities are doing. They're railroading each other. And I believe some people are moving in good faith. I believe some people truly don't want any harm done. But at the end of the day, everybody's vying for the attention of these podcasters. And if they aren't in these communities, they will not have as much of a visibility that they would like. Whichever community the podcast chooses, Joe Budden, Ice, Imani, whichever one they show up to, that is the one that will probably stick around longer. But I ask you all in the comments, what do you think of these communities? Do you feel like there is manipulation of the podcast to try to control their narratives? I also feel like the podcasters might be trying to manipulate the YouTubers into getting control of the narratives. Like, I found it odd when Joe joined my space and was kind of, telling me how I should run my channel, or telling me I couldn't use the audio from the spaces that he was on in my content. I feel like that was a little manipulative because now other YouTubers are using it. So it's like, what is the value of that? And it kind of goes to my theory that all members of the show try to curate their narratives through the communities that are connected to the podcast. Because honestly, it shouldn't matter. You should just have a community, and if they show up, they don't, it doesn't matter. But that's just a subject I wanted to broach, and it's probably something I will be talking about moving forward because there's a lot of drama. Some of the drama was started by Joe Budden. He's gone on Twitter Spaces and pitted certain communities against each other. I'm not saying I'm a choir boy, but these communities are now firing back at each other. All right, like I said, let me know what you think. I have more videos coming. I still got to do more content about Ice. Oh, Ice, you were a naughty boy. You threw a hissy fit, Ice. I got to address you. Also, Ish versus Imani. I think there's something going there. And will I do another Queens Flip video? I don't know. Queens Flip was very mean to me. I don't know if I'm going to talk about Queens Flip on the channel anymore. But I'll talk about that another day. Alright, yo, follow me on Twitter to Stop TV. That's where it really goes down. I didn't know Twitter would take off for me, but it did. And I'm very proud of the work I've been putting in there. It's been very interesting. So you need to tap in with me there. Just got to 2,000 followers. The march to 10,000 continues. We'll see if we get there soon. Follow me on Reddit. Almost at 10,000 subs. Oh, yes. It's been a special year for the Stop. And I want to thank all of the stoppers, all of the haters, all of the people who love, hate, love the channel. I hope all of you are good. I know the new year is tough. I feel like when you're a child, you know, holidays are so much fun. But then as you grow older, the holidays become a reflection point. And sometimes you're remembering things that you try to forget throughout the year. But with that being said, you have a home here. Hopefully, I've provided an escape for you. Hopefully, I've provided a place for you to be curious. Hopefully, if you've interacted with me, I've been nice and kind to you. And it was a pleasant interaction. To the people who hate my guts, I am not mad at you. I know sometimes we get attached to podcasters. And we love podcasters, so we have to create an enemy in our head. But there's no hate. There's some people who are trying to do harm to me. And those are the people I got to be concerned of. So, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you stay safe tonight. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.